Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. And today I'll be reading a Danheng listener by me. So let's get into it. Danheng was extremely protective of you. That was something I'd easily noticed early on in your relationship. The way that he would always check that you were home early and tell you that he could walk you home if you were going away from his place. Those small acts proved to you how much he cared about you and just how protective he gets sometimes. To be honest, you thought it was quite adorable, but you thought nothing of it. In fact, you completely disregarded it. You didn't know how far he would go to protect you. But in all fairness, you had not been put in a situation where you needed to discover that. Not until today. You were walking home all alone, deciding that it wasn't too late to go on the walk by yourself. After all, you wouldn't just call Danheng and get him out of his house, just to walk you home. It felt selfish. And quite honestly, you didn't want to burden him like that. You were self sufficient and clearly old enough to do this. And though it may be scary to walk alone at night, you didn't feel like there would be something bad happening. Or at least, not bad to the point of danger. So you went on with your day. And you had no idea that a man would happen to see you and start following you and harassing you on your way home. That's when fear struck your heart. You were afraid. You were quite glad that he wasn't touching you in any way, and seemingly he had no interest to do so. But you were terrified, for lack of better words. And even worse, you didn't know where to go. You didn't want to lead him home, and you were quite afraid. That's when he started to sprint, calling Danheng, the man running after you. Maybe he had made things escalate, but he knew Danheng would come in time. At least you trusted him to do so. And he picked up. Why on? Is everything alright? It's quite late. You should be in bed. Danheng, please. I will send you my location right now, but I need you. Please come now. There's a guy chasing me. He had cried out. And Danheng immediately shrugged on his jacket, got his spear, and immediately went out to see where you were. You had sent your location to him, and he started running to it so fast that it was almost impossible. But he was scared that something bad might happen to you, and he wouldn't be there to prevent it. Damn it, why didn't you just call him from the start? He thought. But now was no time for regret. Now was time for action, and for him to deal with the situation that you had brought on. He did not blame you at all. After all, it couldn't be your fault that some people could be so disgusting and so horrible. But he had hoped to prevent this. He didn't want it to happen, and he would do anything to keep you safe. Next time, he hopes, you'll be able to call him. If there would be a next time. He ran as fast as he could until he spotted you. And there you were, crying as you tumbled down, stumbling into the street, your knee bleeding. The guy was getting closer and closer, until Danheng stepped between the two of you, pointing a spear at him, intimidating him into stopping as he glared at him coldly. You stay away from her, and don't you ever think of doing that to someone, whether it be her or anyone else. I want my message to be clear, and if you ever think to hurt someone like that again, I will find you, and I will hurt you. I'm not kidding about it, he said firmly, not hesitating once. And the guy started to tremble, knowing that Danheng was being very serious right now, and he was certainly meaning every word he said. He was not backing down. So the man who was chasing you had backed down then, apologizing and running as far as he could. Danheng let out a sigh of relief, turning towards you and picking you up in his arms, kissing your forehead. Are you alright? Please, talk to me. He had started to wipe at your tears, nodding as you wrapped your arms around him and buried his face into his shirt. Tell me what I can do to help. You've done enough, Danheng. I already know I'm being a burden like this. Just take me home. Nope, I'm not taking you home right now. You are in no state to be alone. And you're hurt. Yes, it may be just a scratch, but you were hurt nonetheless in his eyes. And he started walking with you home. He didn't comment about you crying, not knowing exactly how to comfort you. But he knew what you needed. So that's why he took you home as soon as he could. And immediately wrapped you in a blanket, wanting you to feel warm and safe. Because that's what you would have wanted right now, had you been able to speak. But you weren't in the mood for it. So he did what he knew best. He heated up a meal for you and cleaned the injury on your knee before bandaging it up. And that was all he could do before wrapping you into his arms, kissing you softly. You didn't do anything wrong. You should be able to walk at night feeling safe, Wayan. And I'm sorry you don't. I feel so useless, so powerless sometimes. You aren't. You know, I could help you. We could train. We could do self-defense exercises or whatever you call them. I know enough about fighting to at least help you somewhat. You would be wanting to? You looked up at him, tears in your eyes, and he nodded. I want you to feel safe whenever you're walking down the street, with or without me. So yes, I'd be wanting to help you, and maybe even take you to a professional. But if you just want me, then I'm more than willing to offer that. He smiled softly, leaning in to give him a kiss. Thank you, Danheng. Truly, you're what I need right now. Thank you for coming to help me, and thank you for being by my side. He nodded, relieved that he had made you feel better in some way, and held you close. No one would hurt you again, or scare you like that, and he would make sure of it.